finally got everything rolling. Dave Pimper is here with us. He's one of our top producers, has been for a very long time. I'm not going to make long, flowery explanations beyond that, except listen to what this guy has to say because he knows his stuff. So
Good.
pass it on over to you, Dave.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, we're going to talk about in-service non-hardship withdrawals. If you don't know what that is or what that does or how it works, you should. This is when you're in a retirement plan and you turn 59 and a half. You got options to do things that client does of that 401k, 403b, 457 has options to do with that money what they want to do. So this is a great way to prospect. And I work that pre-retired and just retired crowd. So the definition. This is boring. I don't know why this guy is so happy, but it's a boring definition. In-service withdrawal. You heard it called in-service plans, 59 and a half rule, in-service non-hardship withdrawal plans. So it's a withdrawal made from a qualified plan before the holder experiences a triggering event. Death normally is, disability could be, but turning 59. This is when this comes into play. So if you turn 59, then you can go on in and you can have some options what to do with that money. If you got questions, certainly type it on in. So what happens is in that qualified retirement plan, if you turn 59 and a half, you can go in and that person can roll out the money or transfer out that money into an individual retirement account, keep it tax deferred, or if it's Roth, keep it tax free. They don't get affected in any way. They don't stop the plan or stop the match, or they keep it going just like it always is. And so what happens is a lot of the net worth of individuals now, it is wrapped up in retirement plans. In fact, it's usually the biggest asset, even bigger than what your home is if you've been putting into that retirement plan for quite some time. So if you take money out and put it in your pocket, they're going to withhold 20%. You take out 100,000, government's going to withhold 20. Make sure they get the taxes. Not if you're direct rolling it over. Now, 401k loans, lots of times those have to be met first. Not always. I've seen it both ways. But why do this? I mean, there's just so many more options, especially guaranteed options outside of the company retirement plan. Why does the company offer it? That's a great question. There's two main reasons. One is a lot of big companies will have C-suite, CEO, CEO, CIO, COO, all the C-suite. And they're going in and making it very competitive for them to come on board. A lot of them are up in the age. They're 55, 60, and so there's availability to their big 401k plans. Another thing is just liability. The employer, I mean, let's say in 2022, where the stock market was down 22%, 20%, bonds down 13% for the total bond index. They can't come and say there wasn't hardly any choices. There wasn't a good guaranteed choice. There wasn't a good money market choice. They can take their money out after 59 and a half, and that's where the bigger plans are. So it reduces the liability, not as much for the company. So here's what happens. A person comes on in and I say, do you know if this has an in-service provision? That's usually what I say. And then does your 401k have a plan of an in-service provision? I'm just making this up. Say there's $500,000 in there. You know what he's going to tell you? I don't have a clue. I don't know. I really don't know. So then I always ask that prospect for a statement. And once I have the statement, the big boys are Vanguard, Fidelity, Mass Mutual, American Funds, Capital Guardian Group. Those are the big ones. Empower now. Principal's big. We ask for that statement. On that statement will be an 800 number that you can talk to that person. And with that 800 number, you call them up with them on the phone. And then they'll give the okay that you can talk and you can ask any questions you want. And I normally ask first, hey, what's the value of the account? I'll say, does it have an in-service option at 59 and a half? And if they say yes, then I will say, so can you do partials, or it have to be all or none? No, it can be partials. Is there any loans against the account? No, there's no loans against the account. What kind of paperwork do I need? I mean, if something would happen here, I don't say when they do it. I don't assume it like that, but what kind of paperwork, or how do we initiate this? Is it your paperwork, or is it our paperwork that initiates it? Yeah. But the reason you're doing this is you can make their portfolio better. If you can't make it better, you shouldn't be taking it. And then we get compensated. We get compensated to make that move. Any questions? Please type them in. So it's a direct rollover, going from a 401k, say, to an IRA, individual retirement account. The transfer is tax free. Not the deferrals is tax deferred, and then coming out is tax ordinary income tax. You can continue the tax deferral. Why on the outside? I mean, how many good fixed indexed annuity options are there in a 401k? Can you say none? No, none. And there's just many more choices you have from the outside. A lot of people want to consolidate plans when they start getting older. RMDs are not at the age of 72. That's incorrect. It's age 73 now. And then in 10 years, it's going to go in a stair step up to 75. But having control of your money, I think, is a pretty big deal. People like an IRA, an individual retirement account, not a company 401k, but an individual retirement account. I've done actually now 560 public seminars, and I do a lot of retirement planning seminars. I also do the majority of my seminars that I do now are Social Security seminars. And I will say this: in-service non-hardship withdrawal plans, I would say at 30% of all the business I do, a person is working. I'm working on one right now. They actually have about $770,000. It was over $900,000 last year. Now it's under $800,000 this year. Get a load of that. And they're just concerned. They're worried, and they're looking at taking $500,000 out, working with me. 500. Perfect. I don't need it all. I'll work for portions all the time. But they came from a seminar, and in the last 7 weeks, I've had 3 Social Security seminars, and I got actually 43 people signed up that they wanted a consultation, and we actually made appointments with 41 of them. That's pretty darn good. Like 95% of the people are coming that said yes. And just thinking about it, I got 40 plus appointments. This is not counting my radio or my internal book of business. But I got 42 appointments. Yeah, I was looking today. We cannot book an Omaha. I work in Omaha and Fremont, and the Omahas are busier. I'm there 3 days a week, but we're booking out until the second week of June. I'm a month out. My calendar is just filled up with people to meet. And so what happens is if you have concern about where your next appointment's coming from, we need to talk. If you'd like more information on in-service non-hardship withdrawals and how that's helped me, and maybe I could coach you on that, yeah, then we need to talk. I'm still in production every day. I mean, I work hard every single day. I'm 68 years old. I've done this on July 9th. I will have been in the business for 42 years. It's been a wonderful business. I really like what I do, not slowing down much. But I'll say that a lot of our systems, whether it be seminars or radio host marketing, I'm a process player. I do a lot by process. There's a right process. There's a wrong process. You get on the right process train, really, really, really good things come out of that. So if you have, again, lastly, if you have any questions whatsoever, absolutely just type them in. There's a lot to think about, and there's an old saying. It says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop tomorrow. Well, tomorrow never comes. Procrastination is it's a bad trait. Not many people are successful being heavy procrastinators. I've never met one rich person that says I made my money from procrastinating. People who take action are normally the most successful people. Take action. Lisa Marie is going to put up a poll that yes, I would like more information on what we talked about today, or marketing, seminar marketing, retirement boss radio marketing, sales process coaching, whatever it happens to be. I mean, I'm here to help. I'm here to educate. I'm here to try to get you in front of more people. If you would like to have more information, just mark yes. Lisa Marie will call you most likely today, if not today, tomorrow, and set up. She has my calendar, so set up a good time for me and for you. We're talking about 15 minutes, maybe 20 at the most. Just talking about your practice, what you're doing now. Is there something we could implement together in your practice that's going to increase your production? And IAMS is the host for all of those, and without your production, they're nothing. They don't make a penny if it isn't for the production of the agent. The more the agent produces, the more they make. It's a win-win situation. So if you'd like to get more information on this, certainly mark yes. If you have any other questions, Lisa Marie, I'm going to open it up to you, give you the mic here, and see if there's any questions, and then we'll call it a do for the day.
All right, there are a couple of questions here. One is, do all IRS approved 401k plans have this? And when we talk to the plan administrator and say they don't have that provision, are they wrong?
No, not at all. They strictly, it's not mandatory. It's strictly optional. So what happens is right now on big company plans, about 70% of the big plans have them. I'd say it's just over about 50% for mid-sized plans, and for small 401k plans, it's normally 25 or 30%. The bigger the plan, the better chance there is. They also work on government plans, local, like our Nebraska NPERS, you know, public employees system. Um, you know, we sometimes government plans will have them, like thrift savings plan, federal, they have it. So just not everyone has it. Not municipalities, a lot won't, but some will. But all in the discretion of that entity, the underlying entity, like a 401k if it's Microsoft or IBM or Coca-Cola. It's strictly up to them whether they want to offer that or not.
Yeah, and one more question here. Has this option always been in place? And if not, what year was this in place? And is this disclosed in ERISA law?
Yeah, so ERISA started in 74. The first plan started coming on base in 78, 79. I mean, when I started in 81, retirement plans were brand new. I mean, really, just brand new. So what you in the beginning, no, this wasn't available. So what I can't tell you the actual date of it, but I mean, I've been working in service plans for over 20 years. So, and I've been in the business for 42 for half of my working career. Can't tell you when it started, but I can tell you this: you should ask if they have it. Most people don't know. Most people don't know they can take money out of it, and the company will not tell them. That I can assure you.
Sounds good. I had one more question here pop up.
Okay.
They said that they're interested in learning about the Social Security seminars. Can this be discussed on the call? I already know the answer to that one. Yes. Dave will talk to you
Yep.
about Social Security seminars on the call but answer my call first so I can get that set up for you a time because you're both busy. I set up a good time. I think Dave will just, agree wholeheartedly with me that he's
Yeah,
happy to talk
absolutely.
about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. From a Social Security seminar standpoint, remember this: marketing is it's subjective. There's no guarantees to marketing. I mean, we do have a guarantee that 35 people will sign up. I mean, that doesn't mean they'll attend all of them, but they will sign up, and there are not many people giving a guarantee. Pretty reasonable. It's under $3,000 all in, and you get coached up by me on Social Security claiming. And so what happens is that you get 3 sessions from me. IAMS pays me for those sessions to coach you up. Okay? So what happens is that you're getting coached up on Social Security, plus hopefully you're going to get in front of hopefully 10 or more prospects that want to talk to you about Social Security. Now, there's ways we go in prospect, from finding the asset and going from a non-investment Social Security to a fixed index or fixed or life or wealth management, whatever it happens to be. But yeah, I've done 560 public seminars since the early 80s. That's a lot. I'm very consistent at doing them. I'm really busy right now. I mean, I had to slow down. I just got too many people I'm talking to right now. Not a lot of advisors can say that. Okay, I can be a pretty average salesman and be successful. If I'm a really good salesperson, I can be highly successful. That's always my goal, is to be highly successful. But I do know it all starts with that appointment. Period.
We have a really engaged group here today, so we've had a couple more questions come in if you have a couple more minutes.
Oh yeah, good, absolutely. Yep.
All right. In your experience, is this provision in teachers, county, and municipal members in 403B and 457 plans?
Yeah. So I don't work as much in that arena, but I do know like thrift savings plans with the government. It's available. I do know like we've worked before with post office employees. It's available. I do know that there's other government entities that it is available. Not all. So I can't tell you, but I would say if there's a good chance that it is, but you have to call and ask. If you don't call and ask, you're not going to know for sure.
All right. Another question that popped up. How do you get a list of companies that have non-hardship provision?
Yeah, like Judy Diamond. I can't tell you. I think she's still around. She used to have a list of all the companies that had in service non hardship withdrawals. And then we used to, in the old days, when you used to be able to just make cold calls, we would just go to the directory and call the people, because we could get a list of. I mean, we would be creative about it, Lisa, but we'd get a list of the employees, and we'd just call them saying, "Do you know this is available? Do you know this is available?" We can't do that now because you can't call out because of the do not call. But I will say this, is that Judy Diamond is probably the place that I would look at first.
Yeah, and I'm sure that if you're working with us here at IAMS, we have so many ways to find information and find
Good point.
lists and et
Yep.
cetera, that if you talk to me, I'm sure I can find a way because we find a way to do pretty much everything around
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Absolutely. You
All right.
bet. Good point.
I'm
Good
going to
point.
give everybody just a couple seconds to click on this poll if you still want me to get a hold of you. Um, Jim, I saw your note on there. I'll make sure to give you a call today too. Um, I just want to make sure that you knew that I saw that. I didn't want to like give out your number online, obviously. So I'll make
Yeah.
sure to give you a call as well. I'm going to close that out and say thank you so much, Dave, and thank you so much for all of our attendees here for your
Yeah. For
patience
sure.
and for hanging out with us because it's great information and we're always happy to help.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? IAMS, the FMO, they make money by production. So what they do a lot is I coach. I mean, I'm educating people. I'm working on different areas of Social Security seminars, retirement boss radio through radio host. We do a lot of different things. So we hope that we can help you down the road increase your production, get your knowledge of those subjects higher. Knowledge is power. So, Lisa, why don't you say the phone number for IAMS before we leave, okay?
Absolutely. It's 800-255-5055. Again, you'd ask for Lisa Marie, and I'll say that one more time so you can write it down. 800-255-5055. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a good one. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.